What's up, Danny's nephew? I am over here with Teacher Paul, and we wanted to cover a topic that I know a lot of you guys who are thinking about coming over to teach are thinking a lot about, and that is, do you need a TEFL to teacher the Englishes in Vietnam to the youngins? So, Teacher Paul.
Yep.
So, if you don't have a degree, whether or not you have a TEFL is going to make almost no difference in terms of like helping you with paperwork. So if you don't have a degree to begin with, like whoever your employer is, they're going to have to facilitate. And a lot of employers can facilitate, but in the case where they're facilitating already on your behalf and there's already some sort of a financial investment, the TEFL isn't going to make a difference whether they decide they want to hire you or not. But it can give you a little bit more negotiation. So like, for example, if you don't have a degree, but you do have a TEFL, at least it shows that you have something. And again, it's not going to help you with your work permit or any of that. It's not like, oh, well, I got this TEFL and I've got this many college credits. Nobody cares. They care if you have the document or you don't have the document. So I have never seen a situation to where someone's like, oh no, you don't have a TEFL, we're not going to hire you now. And there are some charlatans out there, guys, that are selling TEFLs for thousands and thousands of dollars. So we'll talk a little bit about that tonight, and just to talk a little bit about all of our experiences with the TEFL industry and with some of the things we've encountered. Do you have a TEFL, Uncle Paul?
I do. I just got one. It would have been fall of year before last. So was that 23? Fall of 2023. Mm-hmm. I taught in China almost 9 years, and they never asked me for that. But I do have a master's degree, so I gave them that and my bachelor's, and in China they were fine with it. And I taught in Cambodia. They didn't require one. I think it was the same thing. But then when you got me that job, they wanted me to have one. So and that was a job I wanted to try. So as soon as I got the job, I just banged one out in like 3 weeks. I got it off Groupon. It wasn't that expensive. It cost that much. In fact, the shipping cost more than the TEFL itself. I had it shipped out, and it was adequate for what they wanted.
I bought my TEFL for too much. I paid like a couple $100 because I was in New Zealand, and at the time I was still in the West, and I still thought things like had, like there was like, oh, it's a certification. It was
the eye to eye.
Yeah, I did eye to eye.
Eye to eye. I think it was like $300.
It might have been, yeah.
Exactly.
And I'm studying this thing thinking like, wow, this is like a new skill I'm learning. And that's what they kind of convince you these courses are. But you come out here and you realize like right away, like everything I learned from that overpriced TEFL, I never used any of it. And like I would be telling you guys this to be very cautious. There are people who are on YouTube, there's people who are online that are selling you very, very overpriced TEFL courses. And I got to break it down for you a little bit. The TEFL course itself, the industry, like it is not really something that's like highly regulated. So it's very easy for like entities to just call themselves like TEFLs. The accreditation process is not really regulated either. So you can kind of just hire accreditors to open up a TEFL. I've looked at doing it. I was going to have my own TEFL, and I'm thinking maybe I still will just charge like super cheap and make it like really easy to pass, because it's kind of like a box check. Like if you're thinking about Vietnam and you want to go corporate like Uncle Cousin Paul, corporate places are going to require you have everything, your degree, your TEFL. But if you're going to be more in like smaller places, more kind of gray area jobs, maybe cash jobs, the TEFL thing is going to matter less. And it goes back to what I always talk about: race, nationality, age, physical fitness. Superficial things will matter much, much more than whether you have a 120-hour or 150-hour TEFL.
Yeah, it definitely seems like that. And like I'm doing the smaller market thing right now, and I just went door to door to schools in the neighborhood, and it's really just a matter of I happened to be there at the right time, and they needed somebody, and I started doing it. But then again, they didn't really ask me if I had one. I just told them, look, I'll send you my documents. So I don't know if they would have required it or not, but I get the impression that it wouldn't have been as big a deal. And here's the interesting thing. The one school I'm working for, they wanted me to get my stuff, my documents, my degrees and TEFL notarized. Now, when I had to go to Saigon and have that shit done at the embassy. Here, I just took it to a local place. They stamped it. It cost me $5, and I was out. So I don't know why that is.
Because they're not getting you a work permit, most likely.
That must be, maybe that's what it is.
You know,
so it's a lot easier and a lot cheaper.
It's a less bureaucratic process.
I've liked this way better from the get-go than doing the work permit thing. Work permit thing sucks.
That's the point, guys. That's what I was trying to say. It really depends a lot on which avenue you're pursuing out here, how much that TEFL matters. I don't want you guys to get it twisted. I'm not saying that a TEFL itself, like, oh no, the whole thing, you don't need it, it's a total scam. It's just that in 90% of the jobs that I've encountered, they really don't care that much about it. And it's more of a box tick. Like whether you pay like a couple $1,000s and you go to some classroom TEFL that sounds really fancy to you, when the Vietnamese employer sees it, they're not gonna care whether you spent $5 on Groupon or whether or not you spent $2,000 in some kind of a classroom. And the thing is a lot of these jobs are not rocket science. A lot of these jobs are like saying duck, duck, duck to a group of like first graders. So you don't really, there's not a whole lot to learn. Like you want to play games quickly. You want to keep them occupied. You're only in there for like 35 minutes, you know, if you're doing public schools. And if you're doing training centers, you're only in the class for like an hour. Meesh, what'd you pay for your TEFL?
So I got my TEFL in 2017, and it was for a job here in Vietnam, actually. That's why I got it. They required it, so I just did a TEFL real quick. I think it took me like 3 to 5 days, maybe. And it cost me $5 USC. And then I had to order it, and I think that cost about $30. So the whole thing was about $35. And I finished it in probably 4 days.
Fully open book, right?
Yeah. All online. And then they send it to you in the mail.
And you can check the answers and just look at the answers that you want?
Well, they're all on, like, you could just look up the test on Google, and it's there. It's public.
Oh, somebody posted all the results? They did that on mine too. All the answers from my TEFL were posted online. When you took your TEFL, was it open book?
Yeah, there were I had a couple tests, and then the last one was something written. But yeah, everything was open book. You could just look it up. You had time to get the answers from it. I mean, actually, I'll tell you, man, this is another benefit of your service. Okay, had I not talked to you guys first, it's a simple thing. I knew about this TEFL I did through Michelle and through, of course, asking you. And because of that, I think my fee again was, it might have been like $12-15. It wasn't bad at all, and it was accredited. It was legit. It cost me money. I shipped it out, but it's totally adequate. And I didn't like doing it. I'm a lazy guy, but having it done now, it's a pretty easy piece of paper to get that can make life a little easier. I mean, it's just you put down a few documents. It looks like you got it together. So I'm glad I have it, and I'm glad I didn't pay much for it. And even you said you paid $300, man. That's not bad compared to what some people pay.
There's people paying thousands of dollars for
dude.
Classroom TEFLs.
Thousands.
And like one of the greatest things that's like, that's to me one of the greatest tragedies of this whole situation is that, the Vietnamese, in this case, they need the teachers, right? And then you've got, people who are looking to get these jobs, and they're thinking that they're coming into this like really serious like academic work environment. Mm-hmm. And it's like you're coming to a developing country, homie. Like you're not even really necessarily here to teach. And now here's the thing. If you have a degree, you have the TEFL, you have all the box checks, you're going to have more job options. But the jobs that are very strict on your paperwork are also going to expect you to do a lot because they're going to be very bureaucratic, right? It's going to be a very bureaucratic process. So the people who are working in these kind of gray area jobs or however the school facilitates to get them work permits or get them legal, whatever it is they do. I don't know. It's amongst the Vietnamese, but clearly that they do it. These situations are going to be a little bit more stable and a little bit better for someone who's like trying to stay out here. But if you don't have anything and you're just coming out here and hoping you're going to find a job, so whether you have no degree matters a lot more than whether you have no TEFL. Like you can still get a job with no degree, but it's going to be far more limiting. Whereas like say you have a master's degree and you just don't have a TEFL, like there's gonna be a lot of people who are still like really interested in you, and they'll figure out the TEFL. You know what I mean. So it's I don't want you guys to be taken advantage of if you're watching this video. I don't want you to go out there and end up with charlatans who try to get you for that. So that's why, if you just want to be connected directly to employment contacts, reliable visa services, real estate contacts, just reach us on any of the social media in the description of the video. We can help you guys get situated out here. Reliable employment contacts, fixers, and everything else you need to land on your feet as a teacher here in Vietnam. And I want to remind you guys that if you get sick while you're in a developing country, it's helpful to have health insurance. That's why this video is sponsored by Safety Wing. What's up, guys? I'm in Mysore, India. I'm chilling with this cow here. If this cow were to give me mad cow disease, I would want to have health insurance. And if you're going to live as an expat, you're going to want to have health insurance too. He's either biting me or licking me. He's licking me. Aw, hello.
You're so cute.
See, if I get sick from touching this cow, I want to have health insurance, right? So Safety Wing is a good health insurance for people like me who travel around the world and live in interesting places. I'm covered. If I get sick in India, at least I got health insurance. Safety Wing is designed for people who move around and who travel, so it's the perfect health insurance for people who live our kind of lifestyle. All right, so Meesh, all the years that you've been doing this, because you've done it with no degree and so on, has there ever been a situation where they're like, I don't like your TEFL, you need to get more hours, or you need to do something else? Like, you just have a plain 120 hour that you paid $5 for online. Has that TEFL ever been a problem?
No. The only problem was my very first job, they needed the physical TEFL, and I didn't have it. I was waiting for it in the mail, coming from, I can't really remember, I think it's somewhere in Europe. And it was getting shipped to Vietnam. So that was the only issue.
Has anybody ever had an issue with your cheap $5 TEFL?
No.
Never?
Never.
They care much more that you have a master's degree, right?
Well, like I said, the first job I had here with the master's degree was not enough, right? They required a TEFL, which I thought, I was like, I wasn't used to that. But I wanted the job, so I did it. These jobs, the jobs I'm doing now, they never stated. They just said we needed somebody. I gave them my documents, and that was enough. So I don't really know. I don't know to what degree, but I've never had a problem. Put it that way with a TEFL. No, I mean I think it's good to be that it's accredited. Because I don't think I can't believe unaccredited degrees work anywhere. Because even in places with low requirements, there usually is that's something they check for. I think maybe.
So accreditation itself is like totally unregulated. So it's so easy for like any TEFL to be accredited that if it's not accredited, I would say that's a bit weird, because
that's what I mean.
You can literally just pay someone to accredit you.
Yeah. That's
I looked at doing it, guys. I'm thinking still of looking at doing it and having my own TEFL that's just like a really easy one for you guys to take and just check your box for like very little money.
Okay, yeah.
But I would say this, if you have a takeaway from this video, don't take away that I'm saying, oh, you don't need a TEFL and that they're totally useless. If you don't know anything, some of the stuff they give you can be kind of helpful, but a lot of it is not realistic for like a public school environment in Vietnam. And maybe it's only a little realistic in a training center if your TA is actually helping you.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's something to, like, your delivery is more important than your methods, right? So in other words, like, and you've run into this, whether or not the kids like you or not matters more than how, like, what, how you put your plan together and how you structure your class. That takes second fiddle whether or not they like you, and that whether or not they like you depends on a couple things, one of which being personality. If you put off good vibes and you're having fun with them and they're having a good time in your class and you're working while you're there, you're putting an effort in, if you're sitting there with your feet on the desk, just like, okay, do this, then they're not going to like that. They're paying money to learn, they want to learn. But yeah, it's more important that they like you. And I don't mean, like kissing their ass like you, but like you have a good personality, be positive and have fun with it. And they don't rub off. That's more important for them, to Vietnamese, I think.
If you're young, physically fit, and white, they're gonna like you.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
If you're female, young, physically fit, and white, they're really gonna like you.
It's true.
Tell them you were gonna dye your hair blonde. You were, right?
Yeah, I thought about dyeing my hair blonde so that, maybe my salary will increase.
Blue contact lenses.
Who knows? Yeah, exactly. Blue contacts.
I really think we should try this sometimes next time we're in Vietnam.
Go extreme with it. Like get like some blonde pigtails. Look like somebody out of Switzerland, you know?
Like
an anime character?
No, like a Swiss.
Remember Trading Places?
Yeah, with
When
Balky Bar
Tacos.
Yeah.
Do that act, you know?
Was that Trading Places? Which is the one I'm thinking of? Balky. Balky was Eastern Europe. It was
I didn't see that one.
Balky by Takuma. Perfect Strangers.
No, I know the show, but I never watched it.
Yeah, that Perfect Strangers was my shit. I loved that show back in the day. But I want to remind you, youths and youngins, that if you come out here, you're coming to a developing country. This shit ain't Canada, okay? So erase that from your mind. And all the things that you think, oh, this certification and this course, and I need to do this and do that. Remember, you're coming to Gonzo land. There are rules, but they change fluidly. And there are things that are going on amongst the Vietnamese that we as foreigners will never really understand because we're not really part of the greater society. So it's best to liaison with reliable Vietnamese people. And that's what we do. So I hope this video was helpful to you, give you a little bit of ideas about the TEFL industry, especially how it relates to Vietnam. In terms of other markets, you know, every place is a bit different. But in this part of the world, it really comes down to if you have all the documents, you're going to have the most options. And then if you don't have all the documents, it's going to be more about superficial things. But it also may not be. Like, you know, you might find like a place that really values you for what you do, but probably not. Probably it's going to be a little bit more like conveyor belt, entertaining. Like, I like to describe it like, come see the panda, right? So you're the panda. Everybody wants to see the panda because the panda is unique and the panda looks like something, oh, wow, look, I've seen a panda. You know, it's something different. So everyone wants to see the panda and nobody wants to hear the panda's problems and nobody wants to hear the panda talk about their pedagogy. They just want to see the panda. They want to take photo and they want to learn how to say stuff with the panda. So just be there and be the fucking panda and you're going to be okay, right? Don't try to change the world. Don't bring your woke bullshit out here. Just, you know, come, clock in. It's relatively easy money. And if you decide to use the time to build a business or do something for your life, it's been very good for me and I would recommend it to anybody else. If you guys are not sure how to get started on your journey as expats or just doing something in your life that you find really hard for you to accomplish or to get started with, I'm starting to offer coaching. Thank you for watching. These videos are not politically correct, so help us fight the algorithm by liking, commenting. Your life is short. You know, if you guys want to get out there, you just got out here and make it work. Like, you know, like I did it years ago. It was a lot easier then, but I put my time in and now, you know, like I got something for myself. You can too. Whatever it is your niche or whatever it is your long-term plans are, you know, Vietnam's an okay place to be while you figure it out.
Brush your face and wash your teeth, son.
Reborn abroad got me a job in Vietnam.
Brush your teeth.
Reborn abroad helped me retire in Vietnam.
Reborn abroad got me a job in Vietnam.
Reborn abroad got me a job in Vietnam.
Years later, we're still friends, so hit us up.
Reborn abroad, they're legit. They got me a job. I'm pretty happy.
Reborn abroad got me a job in Vietnam.
Reborn abroad got me a job.
Brush your teeth.
Hey, what's up? I'm D from Canada. Hook up with the New York Nomad if you want a smooth ride into Vietnam or any Southeast Asian countries.
Hey, my name is Aaron. Get in contact with the New York Nomads. If you want to get into Vietnam, hit them up. They'll get you in securely and professionally.
Yo, this is Uncle Hollywood. I'm telling you right now, the New York Nomad got me a job. He's legit. Hit him up. Check him out.
New York Nomad set me up in Vietnam.
Yo, my man got me a job. Come to Vietnam.
Hey, what's up, guys? You thinking about coming to Vietnam? You're not sure where to start. You've heard a lot of things online. You don't know what's true. You don't know what's not. We offer a consulting service where we help you get on your feet in Vietnam. We give you advice on negotiating contracts with employers. We help you with real estate agents, visa agents that are reliable and that you can trust. We help you get started in this amazing country and get on your feet. We help you get into different opportunities that might be more difficult for you if you were just landing in the country on your own. And we help you avoid a lot of the pitfalls and problems that you could have as a newcomer here. We provide provide you with reliable job recruiters, visa agents, real estate agents, and advice. If you guys are thinking about coming to Vietnam, hit us up for a consultation. We'll help you get started, help you get on your feet, and hopefully you'll love Vietnam as much as we do.